Good afternoon and welcome to the National Basketball Performance Centre here in Manchester. It's WBBL action time this afternoon as we've got the Manchester Met Mystics taking on the Sheffield Hatters in the WBBL League play. So my name's Kaz Bullock. I'm joined here by Adam Masters of Brand 161. We're going to be with you throughout today's game, which is due to tip off in around 3 minutes' time. Now the Mystics and the Hatters matching up again for the third time this season, met each other in the trophy, having already played an away game in Sheffield just before Christmas, which the Hatters won quite convincingly in that one. So both teams with a lot to play for at the moment. Mystics currently 1-13. They got that first win a few weeks ago against Nottingham. A great win for them to finally get in the win column, Adam.
Yeah, it's been a long time in coming. You feel like they deserved to get one a lot sooner than they did, but thank goodness they got one, and it was you could see how much it meant to them after the game that they finally got that W, because I don't know how many times we can say it, Kaz, but this is by no means a team without talent, and we've seen exactly what these players are capable of. It's just been a really difficult season for Marg and Pluto, what with the injuries, and still at this point in the season, the curse with injuries. Leah McDermott still injured, and Isabel Robinson picked up an injury during the week in her playoff game. And we can see her getting treatment right now. So yeah, there's something cast over the Mystics with injuries this year.
Yeah, and it's such a shame. I mean, you hate to see it, don't you? And you just think sort of the potential that this team could have had if they'd had an actual full roster of team that they expected at the start of the year and played together. I think the starting lineup that they were expecting has only played 4 games or so together.
Yeah,
all
I mean,
season.
There was that start a couple of weeks ago where it was the first time that everybody had been active on the roster all season, and then a week later, look what happens. So I certainly feel terrible for them and for the coaches, as I said. But it's familiar opposition in more ways than one when they play the Hatters. So many former Mystics on that side.
Exactly, yeah. So we've players in the a couple of years ago over here: Nicolette Fairley, Helen Naylor, Hannah Shaw, Charlie Rowe we've got over there as well. So players that did play on this Mystics squad, players that have known each other, known what the atmosphere is like to play here. So it's going to be an exciting game.
Yeah, I mean, Sheffield, one of the most exciting teams to watch, obviously with all the veteran players there, but of course Georgia Gale is one of the current superstars of the crop.
Playing for GB.
Yeah, now a big part of the GB setup, and yeah, it's always you always get these periods in any sports where there's a kind of passing of the baton, where the veterans start to kind of not phase themselves out, but the young players start to come through, and obviously down there with prospects like Georgia Gale and Charlie Rowe. In fact, I mean, we've seen what she's done at GB level at under 18, so a lot of talent past and present down there on the Sheffield lineup.
Definitely. So looking at the starting fives for today's game, for the Mystics it will be Shay Sanchez, Sam Keltos, Claire Abbott, Alejandra Escriva-Gay and Abby Nihus. And for the Hatters, Abby Whitehouse, Helen Naylor, Naomi Campbell, Carly Murphy and Lena Nyang.
And the Hatters look pretty keen to get to it, Kaz. They're sort of looking at the Mystics going, come on, let's be having you.
So it'll be the Hatters playing in black and orange today. The Mystics are in blue. And with playoffs, creeping up on us, Adam. So the Hatters are in 4th place currently, 10 wins, 3 losses.
Yeah.
So they're going to be wanting to push themselves up the standings, aim for one of the top 4 finishes. You get that home court advantage. And obviously the higher you finish, the easier it is to avoid London.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, who'd want to play London other than in the final?
So tip is about to get underway. I'm not sure what the discussions are, but it will be Nihus and Murphy for the jump. And ball is up, tapped into the hands of Nyang. So it'll be Hatters with the first possession. Murphy, she's working against Nihus, loses it, and it's picked up by Sanchez. And Shea Sanchez has been doing a great job this season of just being in the right place, stealing the ball. As she hands it over to Keltos. Keltos into Nihus, and a great move to the basket, though she's blocked by Murphy. Murphy hands it off. Young tongues the long two, doesn't go. Rebound Keltos. And that's just picked away by Campbell. He's just going to reset, hands it off to Nyang. Hatters set things up. Young driving to the basket, loses it. Campbell gets it out to Whitehouse. Into Naylor, who's triple teamed. Oh, great hands off to Whitehouse, who finishes, gets the Hatters on the board.
Well, the Misty's going straight to the triple team there on Helen Naylor. Of course, with the triple team leaves players open.
And Whitehouse fighting for the ball against Abbott, who manages to keep it alive, gets it into Sanchez. Sanchez spins, steps through, great move to the basket and gets it to drop.
I've really enjoyed Shea Sanchez this year, Kaz. I think she's a really, really talented player. All over the floor, she's quick. And give her half an inch and she'll take more. But that was a great, beautiful footwork there from Shea.
Yeah, Shea's been really, really good this season. I've really enjoyed watching her play. And her toughness as Helen Naylor is fouled on that drive to the basket. So she'll head to the line for two. Sanchez's toughness. The amount of charges I've seen her take, Adam, against much, much bigger players, just putting her body on the line.
We've seen her go down a couple of times thinking, oh, this doesn't look good, and she kind of gets up with a smile on her face. But that's another thing I've kind of liked about this Mystics team is they're scrappy when they need to be. They're not afraid to dive on the floor, put their bodies on the line, and there's some tough players down there.
There are, and you know what? I massive credit to them as well, because it can be tough when you're losing to keep going in those situations, and they have done. And you know, Shea, they can be down quite a bit, and Shea will still be there taking charges. Keltos, great pass inside to Nihus, it's knocked away. Escriva Gay working against Campbell, looking to pass it out, hands it off to Sanchez, who puts the floater up, doesn't go. Whitehouse resets over to Murphy. Murphy working inside. Ball doesn't go. Young looked like she was about to dive in for the dunk, but kicks it back out. And unlucky for that not to drop for the Hatters as ball's loose, but Keltos is the one that picks it up. And over to Sanchez. Sanchez working hard to get to the basket. Shot doesn't drop and it's picked up by Whitehouse, but Shea Sanchez has come out firing here in the first quarter, Adam.
Yeah, she certainly has. I mean, she's taken her first trip to the floor there.
As Carly Murphy is fouled on that shot. Oh, sorry, it's end line. I think Murphy was expecting it to be shots. And that is the first foul on Abby Nihus. Second team foul for the Mystics this quarter. 7:19 to play in the first. Murphy hands it off. Young tries a long two. That one just pops out. Sanchez pulls back. Over to Keltos. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Keltos to Abbott. Abbott turns, kicks it out. Escriva Gay for three. Unlucky for that not to fall. And Murphy driving to basket. Great spin move and a hook shot. Doesn't get it to drop. Campbell fighting for the offensive board. As Naylor passes over to Nyong, who lays it in. What a great move from the two of them.
Yeah, nice pass from Helen Naylor. We know how smart Helen Naylor is on the floor. She sees things as they're about to happen. Nice pass inside there.
Having played 8 seasons with the Hatters in the WBBL, we've seen her hit big shots all throughout her career.
Well, I mean, it's we don't use the term lightly, but she's a legend of the WBBL, and
she absolutely is. As Whitehouse on the break, and count that, and the foul. She's going to head to the line after Sanchez has called for the foul on that play. And we'll have a substitution as Charlie Rowe checks in for the Hatters. After that timeout.
Yeah,
or maybe she was just greeting everyone.
Maybe
it looked like
she
a
was.
substitution.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I love it. We talk about it a lot, Kaz. I love seeing when these players that we've been watching for years at academy level make it to the WBBL level. You know, it's great seeing. I mean, players as young as Maisie Keys on the Mystics team, still just 16, and Alejandra down there, and of course Isabel. But yeah, obviously you and me, we've watched Charlie Rowe for a number of years now, so we know just how tough she is. And yeah, it's just great to see these academy players that are still in the game, still doing well, and still have big futures ahead of them.
It is, isn't it? I remember I was watching Charlie last year at the Four Nations tournament in the under-18s, and it's just, I mean, she's obviously too old for that now, and it's...
well, I mean, I go back to, I think I first saw her play, I think she was playing in a scrimmage with the Senior Mystics 3 or 4 years ago, and I remember thinking, God, this kid's tough, you know, for her age and her size, playing against who she was playing against in those practices. And yeah, she is indeed... she's a tough cookie, is Charlie Rowe.
She is, and honestly, one of my favourite things, if anyone's ever heard me talk about Charlie Rowe before, her footwork as she moves to the basket is phenomenal. I love it, and coming from someone who, you know, I spot up and shoot. I'm not doing that. You know, I can't learn that at this age.
No.
This didn't exist when I was growing up.
No, you stick to the wings, Kaz.
As Whitehouse completes a 3-point play, takes the Hatters to a 9-2 lead here in the first. Scriva Gay into Nihus. Nihus, one of the players that we've not seen for a good chunk of the season, Adam, due to a knee injury.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of wonder if she'd have been healthy for all those games she wasn't here.
As Abbott is fouled on the 3, so chance at the line for 3 points for Claire Abbott.
Yeah, Abby News, I remember at the start of the season we were talking about her going, okay, she's going to be a big part of this team. And then it was a knee injury, wasn't it?
Yeah, just second game.
Yeah, that kept her out, and you just can't help but wonder. And then, of course, Claire Abbott was out for an extended period. So.
And then Shea missed a couple of games.
She did, yeah. I mean,
it's been tough.
When you go through it like that, you really do, like we said at the top of the broadcast, feel for him. And what Sam Keltos has done this year.
Oh my goodness!
You know,
I cannot speak highly enough of Sam Keltos and the things that she has achieved this season. I mean, she's phenomenal. In her last 4 games, Adam, 23.5. Sorry, in her last 7 games, 23.5 points per game, 10.5 rebounds, shooting 52% from the field, 1.8 blocks. She's been phenomenal. She's currently 12th on the all-time scoring chart for the Mystics with 270 points as Whitehouse tries the 3, but it doesn't drop.
And when you think about 12th all-time, I mean, you know, that's what, 9 years with the basketball there.
Yeah, and in 14 games, Sam Keltos has 270 points. It's fantastic, and she's so efficient about it, which is what I really like. Shouldn't say that as probably as she's stepping through to the basket and gets blocked.
Well, for me, it was that game in Newcastle.
Yeah.
Where she was basically 100% from everything until the very end of the game, and then unfortunately she fouled out, but she was just incredible that game. And like you say, you know, if ever there was an advert for efficiency, that was it.
Her basketball IQ is just so high. She knows when to take the right shot, and she knows when to pass it out. You know, she's obviously teams are going to scout her. They obviously know the ball's going to get inside to her, but she knows when to pass it out, and she knows when to take that shot. And it's very, very considered. And if you're a young player wanting to see, you know, how to play, you could do a lot worse than what Sam Keltos.
Agreed.
As she goes 2 of 2 from the line. I think she's missed 2 free throws all season.
Yeah, something like that.
Shooting a very high percentage shooting.
Well, there's a nice little match-up. Charlie Rowe against Alejandra.
As Whitehouse again drives to the basket and draws the foul. So Mystics here on 14 fouls with 4:36 to go in the first quarter. And that will be the second foul on Claire Abbott for the Mystics. And as we said earlier, Adam, Mystics was a very short bench today, so you don't want to see anyone get into foul trouble too early.
Well, it looks like we're about to see Maisie Keys come on for the first time today.
As Whitehouse hits the second. 10-6, Hatters lead. Maisie Keys checks into the game for Claire Abbott. And Maisie Keys, we saw her a few weeks ago get her first points in a WBBL jersey from 2 free throws. And as you say, great to see the young talent coming through.
Well, I mean, talk about, what a position to be in. She's running the point in the WBBL. Unbelievable.
Keys working against Whitehouse. Over to Nihus. Swings it round to Keys. Keys against Rowe. Back to Keltos. Got 4 seconds on the shot clock. Keltos inside to Nihus. Needs to get something up. Can't get that to drop as she comes up against Hannah Shaw and Whitehouse. Over to Oma Jones. Round to Shaw. Hands it off to Rowe. Thought about the 3. Pulls the trigger. Doesn't drop. And it will be end line Mystics ball. So Hatters with a 3-point lead here with just under 4 minutes to play in the first quarter.
A low scoring game so far.
As Keltos pulls up from the elbow, doesn't get that to fall. Nihus dives in for the rebound, but it's stolen away by Shaw. As Rowe gets it into Murphy. Murphy working against Keltos. That's a tough matchup there as Keltos pulls the rebound down and hands it over to Keys. Keys firing down the court, gets it over to Sanchez. 3 doesn't drop. Oma Jones for 3. No good, but she chases her own rebound down. It's picked up by Keys. Keys against Whitehouse. Round the back. Great move. Hands it off to Sanchez. And Sanchez drives to the basket and gets it to drop. What a possession by the Mystics. And a great move from Maisie Keys to
really
drive
good
to the
possession.
basket. Yeah, and with the knowledge as well that, she's coming up against Whitehouse, kick it back out to Sanchez, who then drives and makes the space. As that takes the Mystics to 8 points, just a 1-point Hatters lead. We've got 3:04 to play in the first.
I believe that Sheffield called that timeout.
You want to stop the momentum there.
Yeah, so at 9-8, I think Coach Vanessa Rollis has maybe just decided to stop the game, like you say. Get the tempo back in Sheffield's favour. Yeah, good little run there for the Mystics.
Yeah, the Mystics spreading the scoring around a little bit. Sanchez, Keltos and Abbott all on 2 points apiece. And Abby Whitehouse leading the way with 5 points, 2 rebounds for the Hatters. Sam Keltos already pulling down 3 for the Mystics.
Of course, we get to see Jo Vorley-Otis on the floor. And have we mentioned before that she's now committed?
She has, yeah. So she'll be heading to the States in September.
Oklahoma, I believe. I'm talking to Pluto.
I was going to say Kansas.
Maybe Kansas. Yeah, Kansas sounds more familiar now you mention it.
Abby is a Oklahoma. Was at college in Oklahoma. We usually have some Oklahomanian
well,
support
there's always you're never far away from an Oklahoma player here. Of course, the Joneses,
exactly.
Oklahoma natives.
As back underway, Charlie Rowe bringing the ball up for the Hatters. Naylor swings it around to Whitehouse. Into Shaw, working against Nihus. Shaw, she's blocked by Nihus. And Hatters pick it back up again. 3 seconds to shoot. Shaw with the long 2. Doesn't drop. As Naylor dives in for the rebound and puts the shot up. She'll get fouled on that one.
There's some good defence from the Mystics there. They went for the double team on that baseline. And kind of forced the Hatters into a semi-panic there, but Naylor did well to get the shot off and send herself to the line. Yeah,
she hits the first. And this is something that comes with actually having the players together, being able to play together in the team that you want. So that familiarity, knowing where you are going to be together on defence. And we talk about them not having been able to play games together. They won't even have been able to practice together when you've been injured.
Sure.
So. As Keys for the Mystics. Hands it off to Keltos. Keltos working against Naylor. Keltos turns, spins, fires. That one's short. And there'll be a shot clock violation. So some great D for the Hatters on that possession. as they hold a 2-point lead here late in the first quarter. We've got 2:14 to play. Rowe against the Screever Gay. Gets it back. Rowe
nice.
stepping through to the basket, lays it in.
What a great move. You see when Charlie was bringing up, she called that play. She knew what she wanted to do. Beautiful basket for the Hatters.
Great handoff as she rolled to the basket. And that's Rowe's first points of the game. Keys comes up against Naylor, and it's intercepted by Naylor. Over to Rowe. Rowe going to the basket. Reverse doesn't go. Keys pulls down the rebound and gets it over to Keltos, who is fouled. A bit of a reaching foul on that possession. Looks like it will be on Rowe. Yep, that's the first foul on Charlie Rowe. Third team foul on the Hatters as Princess Adeogun checks in for the Mystics. Keys into Keltos. Hands it off to Adeogun. Round to Sanchez. Good ball movement from the Mystics here. Keys from the free throw line. Just bounces out. Unlucky. Good look though from Maisie Keys. As Naylor stops, hands it off to Young, who lays it in. And what a pass from Helen Naylor.
Well, there it is. That's Naylor vision for you. Yeah, it was a good look previous to that from Maisie Keys. I think once you get that first shot and that first basket and you settle down a little bit.
As Rowe comes powering down the court, hands it over to Young, whose shot doesn't fall. Sanchez grabs the rebound. Sanchez, and it's knocked away. Keltos can't save it. And Naylor for the Hatters, knocked away by Keys. Great D from Keys on that possession. And Sanchez just going to slow things down, reset a little bit. We've got just over 30 seconds to play. Keys to Sanchez, comes up against Shaw. That's a mismatch. Out to Adeogun. Pass inside to Nee, who's just a bit too strong, and it's going to go the way of the Hatters with 18.8 seconds in the first. As Joe Vorliotis checks in for the Mystics. And Abby Nee, who's heading to the bench. Rowe. Over to Oma Jones. Rowe gets it back, swings it round. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Oma Jones inside to Shaw. And picked up by Young, almost at the buzzer. And that will do it for the end of the first quarter. A relatively low scoring 16-8 Hatters lead for both teams, as Sheffield are led by 5 points from Abby Whitehouse and 4 points from Lena Yang. The Mystics, Shay Sanchez has 4 points along with 1 rebound. And yet to see Georgia Gale on court for the Hatters so far, Adam.
Yeah, I was just wondering about that. Maybe she's carrying a little niggling injury or something, but unusual for her to not have been out on the floor just yet. But yeah, first quarter, both teams going all out on defense and both doing a pretty good job. Like you say, it's a low-scoring game. But I seem to remember a game I wasn't at against Sheffield where it was a real tight game. Was it Sheffield? No, I'm imagining things again.
I'll say maybe.
Yeah. I seem to remember you texting me while I was doing another game going, this game's crazy.
Ah.
But hey, we do that many games, Kaz, it could have been anything.
It could. And just want to say a happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there and all the mothers on the court that we've got here. We've got Helen Naylor playing and Mark Jones and Vanessa Ellis as well. So happy Mother's Day to everyone. Happy Mother's Day to my mum, who I hope is watching. And
indeed my mum, who won't be watching. But he's coming to the game tonight to watch the Giants.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Nothing says I love you, Mum, like a ticket to the Giants.
As with teams coming back on court, so it will be second quarter. Hatters have a 8-point lead over the Mystics as we head into the second. And the Sheffield Hatters on a 3-game winning streak at the moment in the league. had a loss to London Lions in the trophy earlier this week, and they're going to be back in action next weekend against the Sevenoaks Suns on the 25th. That will be at home at the All Saints Sports Centre at 4 p.m. So if you're in Sheffield, get down, go and watch them. If you're not in Sheffield, make a trip to Sheffield or watch it on the WBBL YouTube channel.
Why not?
As we are back underway for the second quarter. So Adeogun leading things for the Mystics. Over to Voliotis. Adeogun gets it back. And Princess Adeogun, Adam, a player that, you know, this season might not be scoring a lot, but she reminds me very much of the Vanessa Accra type of player. Very tough on defence, just a hard-nosed player.
Yeah, Princess is a hustler for sure. I mean, she's been around for a few years, Princess. Didn't play her last year, but I think she was around a couple of years ago playing. But yeah, she's another one, another tough player out there for the Mystics.
Yeah, as Rowe will be called for the reaching foul on Sanchez. And I believe that will be the second foul on Rowe. Yeah, second foul on Charlie Rowe. As Sanchez gets the inbound into Keltos. To Abbott. Abbott step back into Keltos, comes up against Naylor, nowhere to go, fadeaway jumper doesn't go. And ball is able to be kept alive, and the Mystics side looked like Voliotis was diving in to save it, as it will be Mystics end-line ball. And Abbott on the inbound into Keltos, round to Sanchez. Abbott passes back out to Keltos, great move, Sam Keltos for three, nails it.
It's a nice pass from Claire Abbott there. She knew exactly where Keltos was hovering around on the three-point line.
Yeah, and again, one of the great things about Sam Keltos, she's a big, but she likes to play as a guard. She can bring the ball up, she can shoot the three. As Murphy looks to answer herself for three and doesn't. Adeogun
big
leaps
rebound
up
there
for the
from Princess.
They're in the high jump.
Yeah.
As Abbott looks for three. Over to Keltos. Keltos for three. Doesn't drop. Ball's into the hands of the Hatters. Young over to Oma Jones. Back round. Naylor. Murphy. Young nearly has it knocked away and does some great D from the Mystics. And that's just the ball pressure, Adam. That's just putting pressure on the player and the ball. It goes loose, comes off you. Take it back. As Adeogun works against Rowe. Hands it off to Voliotis, turns round, spins, gets it over to Abbott. Shot doesn't fall. And Mystics finding some space there on that corner three.
Yeah.
As Rowe steps to the basket. And there's a foul call. That will be on Sam Keltos. Fouls before the shot, so it'll be end line Hatters ball as Abby Whitehouse and Naomi Campbell come into the game for Charlie Rowe and Kian Oma Jones. Young into Campbell, around to Whitehouse. Young back inside as Whitehouse tries a three. Doesn't go. And ball is loose. It will be Mystics ball. Last touch Hatters. So 5-point Hatters lead. 7:36 to play in the first half. Adeogun. Off the screen from Nihus. Round to Voliotis. As Sanchez comes up against Nyang, steps back, 6 seconds to shoot. She's blocked. Nihus picks it up, turns, spins, and puts it back in. And that's a great move from Abby Nihus. The awareness there to get the ball, put it back in.
Yeah, there was slight. I think somebody got a hand to that shot of Shea's. Kind of put it in the hands of Abby there.
As Nyang passes into Murphy, working against Whitehouse. Murphy with the hook shot, drops.
Nice move.
Hatters leads back to 5. Adagan, great move to the basket. Can't get it to drop, but what a move. A great quick first step to get past as Young. And there we go. Shea Sanchez takes the charge. An offensive foul called on Lena Young. And that is exactly what we were talking about earlier in the game, Adam.
Yeah.
Shea just putting a body on the line.
It's a tough one to call.
And that's going to be the second foul on Young for the Hatters. And my thing with that, when you take a charge, you can see it coming. You know it's coming.
You know
it's
coming.
Be like,
Yeah.
I'll close my eyes.
Yeah, just close my eyes and hope it doesn't hurt too much. The thing is, I think I'd actually literally shatter, like a cartoon, and then a pile of bones on the floor.
I remember one game playing in a scrimmage against Mike Bernard, who came charging down the court towards me. I stepped out of the way. There was no chance that was happening.
No, if you saw Big Mike coming anywhere near you, you'd run for the hills.
As Abbott passes round to Sanchez. And Adagan, great step back and shots no good, but she's fouled on it. And Princess Adagan just playing with confidence here in this game, Adam.
She is.
Not that she doesn't usually.
That was a nice little move.
Yeah. As she heads to the line for 2, and that is going to be foul number 2 on Abby Whitehouse. And the first shot is good for Adagan. And second one pops out. 1 of 2 from the line for Adagan, having played on the Irish national team as well a few years ago.
Okay.
Again, great D from the Mystics, just putting pressure on the ball, making it difficult for the Hatters, having to reset. Ball here on the inbounds.
Just over 4 minutes in, I want to say they've only scored 1 basket this quarter.
Yeah, that's right.
And the Mystics are hanging in there for sure.
They are. We've got a 5-2 Mystics run this quarter. This ball's into Campbell, into Naylor, pass it into Whitehouse, and foul call looks like it'll be on the floor.
Let's just see what Inga Spankovic is going to call here, because I didn't see anything.
It looks like he's checking the scoreboard. So we've got a little bit of a problem again with the scoreboard in the arena today. It's not got all the usual stats on it, so I'm not sure if they're just checking something there.
I just noticed that Ingus was a referee today. He gets about that lad.
He does. As Whitehouse, so no foul call on that one. They were just resetting something. As Naylor passes inside to Murphy, great pass, and Sheffield and Mystics both fighting for the ball. Great job from Sanchez to keep it alive. Gets it over to Abbott. Round to Sanchez. Sanchez with a great move. Passes over to Keltos. Keltos with a short jumper and hits. As Naylor swings it round. 2-point game. Murphy backing down Niehaus. Murphy with a reverse, doesn't go. Niehaus with the rebound, so the Mystics here with a chance to tie or take the lead. Adagan over to Niehaus. Over to Sanchez. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Adagan nearly loses it. Turns, steps through. Tough move, no call. Hatters come up with the ball. Whitehouse over to Young. Back inside to Campbell, who kicks it back out. Helen Naylor's wide open for 3 and hits.
What a great set of passes there from Sheffield. Helen Naylor just waiting at the top there. She knows she can hit those shots all day long.
Such a dangerous 3-point shooter is Helen Naylor as well. You've got to close it down. It's tough.
Yeah.
As Abbott round to Keltos. And Niehaus pass inside to Niehaus. I think she just...
Yeah, you could see what she was trying to do. She wanted to pass it into the high post, but I don't think Niehaus had seen that she was doing that.
So 5-point Hatters lead here, 4:19 to play in the second quarter. Murphy, she's been fantastic for Sheffield all season long. Turns, spins, and doesn't get the ball to drop. Ball's knocked out, but it'll stay with the Mystics. Carly Murphy, Adam, 17.9 points per game, 13.7 rebounds per game.
Yeah, she's tough.
It's in her first WBBL season as well, out of Colorado State University.
She's a walking double-double.
She is.
And she's so tough inside.
As Naylor just picks that pass off, hands it off to Shaw, who banks it in.
Nice move from a couple of veterans there. Helen Naylor slowed it down a little bit and just thought, I'm just going to wait for someone to catch up. There you go, Hannah.
They know each other well.
Yeah.
23-16, Hatters lead. Sanchez off the screen from Keltos. Looking for some help. Round to Adayagan. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Adayagan 2. And ball is kicked, so it's going to stay with the Mystics. And fresh 14. As we will have a timeout. Mystics coach Mark Jones wants to talk things over. So a 23-16 Hatters lead here in the second quarter. Since you pointed out they'd only scored 2 points, they've gone on a good run there, Adam.
Yeah, commentator's curse as always.
So the Mystics are led by 7 points from Sam Keltos, along with 5 rebounds. And the Sheffield Hatters 6 points from Helen Naylor and 6 points from Lena Nyang. And Naylor also adding in 5 assists so far in the game. You can see why when you see her just make those handoff passes as the player rolls to the basket.
Yeah, so it was a nice veteran play there. Just as she was coming down the floor, she knew that she was ahead of the rest of the offense, so she just slowed things down. Knew that Hannah Shaw was behind her.
And it's always, for me, it's always so fun watching players that have played together for a long time, you know, when they just know
it's the best kind.
It's
It's fluid basketball, isn't it? I mean, we've been lucky enough to watch Dominique Allen and Georgia Jones here at the Mystics for so many years. Those two obviously know each other's game inside out. And it's always fun to see these players that have played together for not just at club level but at GB level together. You know, they know each other inside out. And Nicolette's coming off a little bit of an injury at the moment, but Nicolette still very, very, very dangerous player, still doing Nicolette things out there on the floor.
Absolutely, yeah. And again, having just played together with these players for so long, it's great to see as we're back underway. 3:22 left as Keltos drives to the basket and puts the ball in. 9 points for Sam Keltos in today's game. Cuts the lead down to 5. Naylor over to Campbell, and she's fouled on that possession. And again, another player we should mention has been playing for a long time, Adam, Naomi Campbell. What a career she's had. 16 years playing for the Hatters throughout their organisation as well. And just such a great ambassador for the game of basketball.
Well, even little moves like that where she knows that she's going to have to come up against somebody, she knows how to draw the contact and still go for the basket, but if not, 2 points will do it from the line.
Yep, as she goes 2 of 2 from the line. So it's Sanchez for the Mystics. Keltos round to Nihus. Great pass inside to Adayagan. Out to Abbott. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Abbott working against Campbell. Kicks it out to Nihus for the long 2, who hits. Puts the lead to 5. Mystics aren't going away. As Nihus passes into Shaw. Round to Naylor. Thought about the 3, passes back off. And Shaw backing down Nihus with a fadeaway.
Yeah, vintage Hannah Shaw move there.
We've seen that before.
Backing down. Little fadeaway.
Leads back to 7 for the Hatters. Sanchez. Kicks out Adayagan. And that is going to go the way the Hatters. And Charlie Rowe checking back in for the Hatters. We've got 2:06 here to play in the first half. Abby Whitehouse heading to the bench for Sheffield. She's got 5 points, 2 rebounds so far. Naylor hands it back to Rowe. Down to Naylor again. Driving to the basket. And no call on that possession. Knocked out by the Mystics. Just under 2 minutes to play here. Hatters with a 7-point lead. Abbott to Niehaus. Niehaus looking for a bit of help here. Gets it over to Sanchez. Keltos driving, stops, steps back from the free throw line. Doesn't get it to fall, grabs her own rebound. Turns, fires for 3. That one doesn't fall. Young inside to Shaw. And Shaw's shot's no good. And Mystics get another chance here to cut into the lead. Sanchez. Out to Keltos. She tries a 3. Doesn't drop, but Abbott dives in for the rebound and manages to kick it out to Adagan.
Claire Abbott.
Niehaus shouting for the ball underneath the basket, just as a bit too late. As that pass will go out of bounds and it will go back with Sheffield. As Alejandra Escriva-Gay checks in. Adagan heading to the bench for the Mystics. Just under a minute to play here in the first half. As Rowe gets it back. She's got space there. Kicks it out to Naylor. Into Young. Doubled. And still manages to get the shot off, but it doesn't go. And that's some great D from the Mystics there.
Mystics going for the double team again.
Seems to be working quite well for them.
Yeah, it seems to be working because obviously it puts Sheffield under a lot of pressure, and then Claire Abbott did well to let the ball go out. Mystics ball.
And Hatters here picking up full court as Escriva-Gay gets it over the line against Rowe. And great pass over to Sanchez. Floater doesn't drop. Ball's tipped out. As Rowe with 14 seconds on the shot and game clock has the ball knocked away, so Mystics get another chance to get the last shot here of the quarter. Abbott working against Campbell. Out to Escriva-Gay. She's got loads of space. Escriva-Gay pulls up. Shot doesn't drop. Young grabs a rebound. 2 seconds, 1 second. Shots up. No good. That will do it for the end of the first half. A 27-20 Sheffield Hatters lead over the Mystics. A relatively low-scoring game here, Adam, in the first half.
Well, both teams have been playing some great defence. I mean, Sheffield have been relying on that Mystics have been relying on that double team, and it's done really well. But likewise, Sheffield have been tough under their basket as well. And yeah, 27-20, very low-scoring game. But I think Coach Marg's going to be reasonably happy with that scoreline going into the half.
Yeah, Mystics having actually outscored the Hatters in that quarter, 12-11, after going down 8 points in the first. So leading the way for the Mystics is Sam Keltos with 9 points, 6 rebounds so far. And for the Sheffield Hatters, Helen Naylor has 6 points and 5 rebounds and 6 assists, close to a triple-double already here in the first half. Along with Lena Yang, who has 6 points and 5 rebounds as well. So we're going to take a quick break for half-time, and we'll be back with you in around 10 minutes' time. Welcome back to the National Basketball Performance Centre here in Manchester. We're getting ready for the second half between the Manchester Met Mystics and the Sheffield Hatters in what has been a very low-scoring game for both teams so far, as the Hatters have a 27-20 lead over the Mystics as we head into the third quarter. The Mystics have been led by Sam Keltos, who has 9 points, 6 rebounds, and Sheffield have been led by Helen Naylor on 6 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and Lena Nyang, who has 6 points as well and 5 rebounds to go along with that. So we're about to get things underway in a couple of minutes' time, but we would just like to send our thoughts to the Sheffield Hatters and everyone, as it is this weekend marks the anniversary of Betty Cadona's passing. An absolute legend of the game in British basketball, has done so much for basketball in this country, so much for the Hatters, setting up the club, and it will be the WBBL Betty Cadona Trophy next weekend as well, so make sure to tune into that one. A fantastic woman, fantastic ambassador for British basketball.
Yeah, well said, Kaz, and only right that that trophy should be named after her.
Yeah, definitely. And that will be the Leicester Riders facing off against the London Lions in a rematch of the Cup final back in January. So that takes place next Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, Leicester are going to want to try and give him some payback for what happened in Birmingham.
Yeah, and hey, we've seen the Caledonia Gladiators beat the London Lions this season. They've yeah,
I mean,
it's been done.
Yeah.
So anything can happen and especially when you get into a final, when you get into a trophy final, different atmosphere.
Oh, totally. I mean, as you know, the Below the Rim podcast does spend a significant amount of time when we record the show arguing. And one of the big arguments at the start of the year was, are the Lions beatable? You know, obviously the show caters more to the BBL, but the WBBL team came up as well, and my argument was yes. Of course they're beatable. Nobody's unbeatable.
Yep.
And London, although they've only dropped 2 in the BBL, I think, and 1 in the WBBL, just goes to show you that when you get a team that's on fire with a veteran leader like Chantal Handy, you know, Caledonia, can't sleep on him.
Not at all.
And in a final, strange things happen. I mean,
yeah,
you know, there's going to be the rivalry's obviously going to be way up there after Birmingham, because I think the Lions, I mean, we were at that game and the Lions really dominated that game, but Leicester are going to want to go out there and give it everything, and hopefully it'll be a great game.
Absolutely, yeah, so make sure to
and then obviously,
well,
it's an all Leicester, all London weekend, because the guys face off as well, I think. No, of course they don't. No, I'm thinking of something else. It's the big one for Caledonia. If Grant Young's listening now, he will be shouting at his screen going, what are you on about?
It's a Cheshire.
Cheshire, yeah. So good luck to both them teams. Good to see them in the final.
Definitely. As we get things back underway here in the third quarter, it's Hatters' ball to start things off as Young passes inside to Murphy. Gets it back. Back again to Murphy with the fadeaway. Doesn't go, and Keltos grabs a rebound. Sanchez over to Adeogun. Got loads of space. Sides against the shot. Passes back to Keltos, working against Naylor. Keltos driving all the way to the basket and lays it in. That gives her 11 points, cuts the lead back to 5. Whitehouse, Branton Yang steps inside, shots up, and it's good. Nothing but net on that one. And every time the Mystics kind of creep a little bit away in Adam, Sheffield just pull back out.
Yeah, but Sheffield know that the Mystics are up for this one, and they're clipping at their heels throughout the game, as you say. And it's kind of like one way you sort of wonder who's in more danger. You know, the Hatters being ahead or the Mystics being behind. But sometimes teams play better from behind. And Mystics, that, you know, to be fair to them, have showed it throughout the season that they can hang in there in a game. They just weren't able to sort of close out games. So,
yeah, definitely, as it will be Sheffield end-line ball. Whitehouse controls things for the Hatters. Campbell round to Naylor. Young inside to Murphy. Manages to keep control.
Wow.
And puts the reverse in.
Great move from Murphy.
And leads now up to 9 for Sheffield. Sanchez. And it's stolen away by Murphy.
Here she goes again.
Powering ahead of everyone and just lays it in off the glass. That's a quick turnaround for the Hatters. 33-22 lead here in the third.
Well, I was just seeing Georgia Gale walk down the bench over to the exercise bike. I wonder if she fancies an appearance in the second half.
Always good to see Georgia Gale on the court. As Sheffield forced a turnover on that last possession, and Yang gets space there for the shot, doesn't go. And Murphy picks it up, a fresh 14 for the Hatters. Round to Naylor. Passes out, and that is another offensive foul call on the Hatters, and Shea Sanchez taking a second charge of the game.
Is that Shea's third visit to the floor?
I think it is.
I think we need a new column for Shea.
We do.
Time on the floor.
I want to see a highlight tape of just Shea Sanchez just taking hard falls.
Well,
she's
she's one tough lady. I mean, we've seen it all year. I remember the game over at Platt Lane where she went down hard, and I think she banged her head, and then she was up and smiling after the game.
Yeah, I think that's
she's
unfortunate
a tough one.
Caused her to be out for a few games afterwards. But yeah, she just bounces back up again.
She does.
As Nihus pass is knocked out, Keltos puts it in and is able to pick it up again. That was a quick thinking from Sam Keltos, and that takes her to 13 points in today's game, which now also takes her to 11th in all-time points scored for the Manchester Mystics in just 15 games.
Unbelievable.
She has 283 points.
And I'd imagine that you've got the list in front of you somewhere, but some of the names that she's going to be in the company of.
Oh my goodness, yeah, there's some good company there.
I'm going to take a guess. Georgia Jones 1.
Yes.
Helen Naylor 2.
No. Helen only had one season. Seconds as Adayagan fires as the end of the shot clock.
Second. I'm going to be thinking about this now. It's got to be Dominique.
Nope, but she's fourth, is Dominique. That's a Sheffield answer there, puts the ball back in. It's one of the Mystics' mainstays in second place.
Rhiann Bailey.
None other than Rhiann Bailey.
Rhiann Bailey, the GOAT. The ledge.
Sanchez, great pass inside to Nihus, who just puts it in off the glass.
Speaking of tough people, Rhiann Bailey.
Rhiann is a tough player. She's probably taken as many charges as Shea.
Yeah.
As Nyang passes out. Helen Naylor with so much space. Mystics getting a bit lucky on that missed shot. Whitehouse into Murphy. Great
nice
pass over to Naylor.
Great pass inside from Murphy there.
And the Hatters just breaking away a bit here in the third quarter. Lead is up to 13. Keltos turns. Over to Abbott. Abbott with a pass inside to Nihus. It's knocked out, picked up by Nyang.
Well, if I'm Mystics, I'm thinking timeout fairly soon.
As Murphy going against Keltos, and great D from Keltos, who forces the shot to miss. It's then intercepted by Helen Naylor, who passes, and it's just off the knee of a Mystic, and it will be Sheffield's ball.
And that's the timeout called.
And I'm just checking the score in the venue that we have on the scoreboard is different to what we're seeing here. So just checking the score for everyone.
Well, I can confirm that on the scoreboard here in the gym it's 39-30 Hatters, but on live stats it's showing 39-26.
So we'll just get
We'll get confirmation of that.
But I think it is. I think it is 26-39.
Okay. Just a bit of news in from next to me there that they took 2 off. They should have took 2 off, but put 2 on. Well, I wonder who's going to notice that first. I'd imagine that when the Hatters come out of the huddle, someone's going to look up and go, "Excuse me."
Yeah, so it's been changed. Yeah, the score is as we have it on the screen. It is 39-26 to the Hatters. The Hatters have a 13-point lead over the Mystics. And Sam Keltos leading the way for the Mystics, 13 points, 7 rebounds. And for the Sheffield Hatters, Helen Naylor has 8 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. And Lena Nyang, 10 points, 6 rebounds. As Rowe goes against the Screever Gay. Rowe fires for 3, doesn't drop. Murphy pulls the rebound down and somehow manages to get it back out to Rowe for Sheffield to reset. 5 seconds on the shot clock, Murphy, and she's fouled by Abbott on that drive.
Yeah, I think the Mystics will said in that time out there they've got to go back to doing what they were doing in the first half on defence. Throwing those double teams at Sheffield and trying to muscle them to the free throw line as they've just done there.
As Murphy's first shot drops in. Second's good as well, 2 of 2 from the line for Carly Murphy. So Sheffield extending their lead here in the third quarter. We've got 4:30 to play. Sanchez with the crossover, drives to the basket.
Good footwork.
Tough shot, doesn't drop. Whitehouse gets the rebound for Sheffield. Whitehouse kicks it out. Rowe for 3. No good. And there's a foul under the basket.
Well, I think the Mystics swerved a bullet there because usually from that range you don't leave Charlie Rowe open because she'll hit those all day long.
Yeah, she's a problem from 3 is Charlie Rowe, as that is the second foul on Sam Keltos for the Mystics. Whitehouse with the inbound. Over to Oma Jones. Oma Jones to the basket. No good.
Shea get a piece of that?
I think she may have done.
It looks like it's going to be a Mystic ball, but it certainly looked like Shea got a piece of the ball on the way out there.
And a big shout out to Stan in the comments, watching on YouTube.
Stan, we love you, man.
Stan the man.
I think we will be with the big dog balling guys in a couple of weeks here, Kaz.
Hopefully very soon, yeah. Always love to see them back up in Manchester. As Shaw hands it off to Rowe. Rowe going all the way to the basket. Can't get it to fall. As Keltos comes up with the rebound. And pass is just knocked down. Oma Jones picks it up. And Abbott, I think, ran into a ref on that one.
Took out the referee and got back up.
As Keltos pulls down another rebound for the Mystics. Sanchez fires from deep. And in and out and pops back in. Huge 3 from Shea. As Whitehouse drives to the basket, scoop layup, just
nice
rolls
move.
Itself in. Abbott against Murphy, hands it off to a Screever Gay. And Oma Jones steals it away, and Oma Jones has done a really good job of that this game, Adam. She's been getting into the passing lane, she's been able to pick up the ball, especially when it's loose.
Yeah.
Whitehouse with a fantastic handoff to Murphy.
I remember seeing Abby Whitehouse playing in a Weeble tournament.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
As Abbott grabs her own rebound, kicks it out to Escriva Gay from the free throw line. Shots off. There's Rowe for the Hatters. Too strong. Sanchez dives in, grabs the rebound. And her pass is knocked away, picks it back up. Going under the basket, turns, fires, and tough move from Shea Sanchez, who manages to get it to drop.
Looks like Mark's going for a triple substitution fairly soon.
There's Omar Jones with space, fires for three, doesn't go. Murphy grabs the rebound, and there's a foul on the floor. As Abby Nihus, Princess Adeogun, and Maisie Keys come back into the game for the Mystics, and Helen Naylor and Naomi Campbell in for the Hatters.
Subs all round.
Rowe into Shaw. Shaw with the turnaround and the fadeaway, doesn't get it to drop. Sanchez picks it up. Sanchez and Keys going against Shaw. And it's lost.
Shea's just losing control. She's so fast there. I think she was trying to decide whether to pass the ball off or keep going.
And I think just on that play, Naomi Campbell getting there and one opportunity as she finishes through contact and is going to head to the line. Just going to say on the possession before that, Charlie Rowe as well doing a great job to get out into transition.
Yeah.
As Campbell free throw rolls in, and that is a 17-point lead for the Hatters. They've really swung things around here in the third quarter. Adeogun into Nihus, hands it off to Keys, round to Sanchez. Adeogun kicks it out, Vorliotis for three, and that's in and out, unlucky for that not to fall. There's Rowe, you see the speed as well of Charlie Rowe. As Hannah Shaw picks up the loose ball, turns, fires and just banks it in.
Don't mess with Hannah Shaw in that position under the basket.
Keys against Rowe to Adeogun. Keys gets it back, and great pass. Adeogun stepping through to the basket, high off the glass, can't get it to drop, and Shaw just picks it up.
Oh, Princess won the ball back there, shouting, hey, come back.
Come back, I've got it. And Sanchez over the outstretched arm of Helen Naylor, doesn't get that to fall. Gets her own rebound though and steps through to the basket to put it back in.
Shea Sanchez just never stops working, does she?
She absolutely does not. That takes her to 9 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 charges.
Yeah, 2 visits to the floor.
6 seconds to go. Shaw, 4 seconds, fade away, and it rolls in. And a great move from Hannah Shaw.
I always think that if you were to, there's certain plays that if you put a silhouette on them and said, right, name this player from the move, Hannah Shaw, you'd know it was her any time with that little move there.
Oh, definitely you would too. And that is going to take Hannah to 6 points in the game. Sorry, that's 8 points for Hannah Shaw, along with 5 rebounds as well. So, end of the third quarter, a real turnaround for the Hatters here, 52-32, extending their lead over the Mystics. It was a 7-point game coming into the third, and they've managed to outscore the Mystics 23-13 in that one.
Yeah, it's a big quarter for the Hatters there, and I'm sure that that's exactly what Vanessa Ellis wanted to see. Games so often can be decided in the third quarter if one team gets on a good run like Sheffield have done. And the Mystics have got a lot of work to do, and if they're going to get back in this one, they need to do it quick, smart in the fourth. But I want to see them go back to playing the defence that they played in the first half, try and shut Sheffield down that way, and then see what they can make happen on offence.
That was working really well for them.
It was, yeah.
Just something that's jumped out to me here, Adam. Just 3 made 3-pointers between both teams in the game. Quite unusual for both of these teams.
For these two teams especially.
So as we head into the fourth quarter, the Mystics are led by Sam Keltos, 13 points, 9 rebounds. And Shea Sanchez has 11 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and as I said, 2 charges. The Hatters spreading the scoring around quite a bit here. Carly Murphy on 10 points and 10 rebounds, a double-double for her. And Lena Young, 10 points, 6 rebounds, and an assist as well.
If you look down that Sheffield roster, though, there's not many people that on the day can't give you big points. I mean, it's full of scorers, the team. And Georgia Gale not even on the floor.
It is, definitely, yes. And Sheffield playing with a kind of a short bench as well, as the Mystics are. And
what we've seen a couple of times this year is that the Mystics have relied heavily on the offensive output of Keltas, Nihus and Shea Sanchez. I think there's been games where only they've actually scored.
Yeah.
So, Sheffield deep with scorers for sure.
Definitely, as we get things underway here in the fourth quarter, as Adeogun controls things for the Mystics. Over to Sanchez. Keys comes up against Campbell, needs some help to pass it out, and ball will come off the Mystics. That will go back with the Hatters. And big shout out, we've got John Hobbs in the comments as well. Hope you're doing well, John. We'll see you up here in April.
Yeah, the crew will be together, big dog. Hobbsy.
Greg's booked Nando's for everyone.
Splendid. Hopefully Greg's paying as well. I doubt it though.
So 52-33 Hatters lead here in the fourth quarter. Rowe against Keys. Into Shaw. Shaw passes back out to Rowe. Rowe stepping through and gets the ball to drop. Count
nice
it.
Bucket,
and the
Charlie
foul.
Rowe, nice bucket.
And that is what I'm talking about. Charlie Rowe's footwork, that little dance she does to the basket, gets it to fall. And, you know, one of the smaller players on the court as well, the way she's working through.
Never be fooled by Charlie Rowe's size.
As she completes the three-point play, and that is a foul on Abby Nihus for the Mystics. That's just her second. As Keys drives, hands it off to Nihus. And a great shot from Nihus. Leads up to 20 for the Hatters. Oma Jones around to Naylor. Naylor inside to Shaw. It's knocked out by Nihus, so it'll stay with the Hatters. Sheffield with 5 seconds on the shot clock. So Campbell into Rowe. Rowe driving to the basket, doesn't get it to fall. Niho sends it off to Sanchez. Sanchez round to Keys, up against Oma Jones. And Nihus fighting inside against Naylor. Nihus with a tough move to the basket, comes up against Hannah Shaw and draws the foul. So Abby Nihus will be at the line for 2. And shooting just under 50% from the line this season, as the first shot doesn't go. And second is good. Cuts the lead to 19. Naylor hands it off to Oma Jones, round to Shaw. Sheffield have done a good job moving the ball this game as Naylor turns and fires, can't get the ball to drop. Sanchez passes over to Adeogun, stops, passes to Nihus, and Nihus finishes, and great movement from the Mystics. That's always tough when you come up against Hannah Shaw in that defensive position.
Yeah, but Nihus came steaming down the middle there and shouted for the ball, and luckily Princess saw her. As
Shaw's shots knocked away.
Good work from Nihus there.
As Sanchez has Keys up ahead. Sanchez stops and fires for 3. Doesn't get it to fall, really unlucky. And Campbell swings it round to Naylor. Into Shaw. Shaw fighting for it, turns and is fouled.
Well, once again, News doing a good job on Hannah Shaw there.
Yeah, good job defensively, and I'm so impressed by I've seen it before and I shouldn't be, but Helen Naylor's passing, just that little flick pass inside, just knowing exactly where the players are going to be as Oma Jones heads to the bench and Abby Whitehouse comes in for Sheffield, and we've got Sam Keltos back in the game for the Mystics. So Shaw will be at the line for 2. And first shot's good. And a second one pops out. Keltos dives for the rebound, but it will be last touch Mystics, so it's going to stay with the Hatters as Murphy comes in and Hannah Shaw heads to the bench for Sheffield. And that is 9 points in the game for Hannah Shaw, along with 5 rebounds. As Sanchez comes up with it for the Mystics. Over to Adeogun. Inside to Sanchez, and I think Hatter got a hand on it as Sanchez turns and fires. Gets the ball to drop, and that was a tough move from Sanchez again. Takes her to 13 points in the game. As Rowe works against Keys, passes inside. As Whitehouse on the break. She broke inside there. Great move from Whitehouse. Is curling round, able to receive the pass. And she'll be fouled, so she'll go to the line for 2. And that is foul number 3 on Princess Adeogun for the Mystics. And Whitehouse shooting 75% from the line so far this season, knocks down the first. She's in her 2nd season with Sheffield, previously played for under-16s GB and in the WBBL last year, as she goes 1 of 2 from the line. Ball's picked up by Keys, gets it over to Keltos. And Keys driving against Campbell, round to Keltos. Hands it off to Sanchez. Sanchez backing down Whitehouse, shot doesn't go. Naylor inside to Murphy, spins, and Murphy's shot rolls around. That little turn and hook shot from Carly Murphy's been so effective.
Nice little move.
As Sanchez fires for 3, that one's too strong. Adeogun again leaps out for the rebound. As Keys working against Rowe. Keys off the backboard and in. That'll be Maisie Keys' first field goal in a WBBL jersey. Hit a couple of free throws a few weeks ago.
Yep.
And great to see.
Good for her. We're going to be saying the name Maisie Keys for many years to come, I think.
Get used to it. As the ball's loose underneath the basket, and Corley's is staying with the Hatters. As we'll have a substitution. Lena Young checks in. Naomi Campbell heading to the bench for Sheffield.
I'm thinking that we'll see a lot of Maisie Keys at Final Fours in a few weeks' time, Kaz.
I'm pretty sure we will be. And Murphy powers away to the basket, can't get the shot to drop. I think tickets available for Final Fours now. If you go on the Basketball England website, head to the events page. You can pick up your tickets for junior Final Fours, senior finals as well. So a lot of exciting events coming up. As Keys kicks it out, it's stolen away by Whitehouse.
Yeah, definitely urge anyone to get tickets. It's always one of the best weekends of the year.
As Adeogun and Whitehouse diving on the floor. Ball is going to go with the Mystics. So Keltos to inbound. Sanchez against Nyang. Keltos manages to keep hold of that pass as she's doubled, gets it back, three's up, and just too short.
The threes still ain't dropping, are they?
No, not for either team.
No.
As Naylor gets it round to Murphy. Whitehouse over to Naylor again. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Nyang. Whitehouse inside to Murphy against Nihus, and she's blocked by Abby Nihus. And as we see, Claire Abbott sub in for Maisie Keys for the Manchester Mystics. So 2.6 on the shot clock for Sheffield. Rowe driving and doesn't get the shot to go. Nihus grabs the rebound. Abbott working against Rowe to get it over the halfway line. Abbott to Nihus. Abbott, 5 seconds. Adeogun. Murphy and Nihus fighting inside. Murphy is able to knock it away. And that will be a foul call on Shea Sanchez as she just bumped. That's her second. As we'll have a timeout. Mystics 59-42. Sheffield lead over the Manchester Mystics with 4:24 to play here in the fourth quarter. Sheffield having done a really good job here in the second half, dominating the Mystics.
Yeah, Sheffield took control in the third quarter there, and they continue to dominate this fourth as well.
And again, Sheffield behind 12 points from Carly Murphy along with 11 rebounds. Again, just another example of the fantastic player that she's been so far this season in just her first WBBL season, first season out of university.
Yeah, another double-double. I think we said it earlier on. Give her half a chance and she's going to score double figures, double figures in rebounding and scoring.
And the Mystics, Shea Sanchez has 13 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists and a couple of steals. Sam Keltos, 13 points, 9 rebounds. And then Abby Nihus, Adam, 11 points, 8 rebounds and 3 blocks.
Yeah, Abby's had a great game for sure, working hard. Sam Keltos, you know, talking about Murphy there, another player that obviously is going to give you a double-double pretty much every game.
As back underway, just 4:24 to play here in the fourth quarter as Rowe brings the ball up for the Hatters. Brings it off to Whitehouse. Whitehouse working against the Dagan. Whitehouse with a tough shot, doesn't get it to fall. Keltos pulls down a 10th rebound. Hands it over to Adeogun. To Abbott. And Abbott looking for a bit of help. Nihus trying to break free from Murphy inside. Abbott decides to drive all the way to the basket herself and lays it in.
Tough move from Claire Abbott there. There was nothing on. It's a pass inside. She just thought, hey, what the hey?
I'll go for it.
Throw to the basket. Tough move from Claire Abbott.
As Whitehouse tries to answer at the other end, and the ball is knocked out of bounds. And you see the defense there from Shea Sanchez. Abbott almost bounced off her in the air, but Sanchez keeping herself straight, not causing the foul. Just a really great, solid defensive play from Shea Sanchez. As Young inbounds to Shaw, gets it back round to Murphy. Murphy fires for 3. That doesn't go. Sanchez hands it off to Keltos. Keltos pass inside. It's knocked out, rolls all the way over to Abbott, who just picks it up. 3 doesn't drop. Murphy driving all the way to the basket,
coast
lays
to
it
coast.
In. Such a tough player to defend against, this Carly Murphy. Hatters increasing their lead here to 17. Sanchez has it stripped. Nyang comes away with it. Nyang going against Nihus, and that will be a foul call on Nihus. So Lena Nyang heading to the line for 2. So the Manchester Mystics will be next back in action next Saturday the 25th against Durham. That will be a home game. That will be at the Platt Lane Sports Complex at 3 p.m. So head down if you can, if you're in the area, come and support the team, and if not, check it out on the WBBL YouTube channel. And Sheffield playing Sevenoaks next Saturday. That will be at the All Saints Sports Centre at home for them at 4 p.m. tip. So again, get down, support these teams. Some great talent on display. Always exciting to watch one of these games in person.
Sounds like London have had a big win today as well.
Yeah, so a win over Essex for London. A 92-33 win for them at the Copper Box.
Lions continuing their dominance of the WBBL. I mean, that's a huge scoreline, isn't it, really, when you think about it?
It is.
The team to just 33 points.
So just under 3 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Hatters with a very comfortable lead with 2:54 to play, 61-44 over the Mystics, as Landon Yang will be at the line for two. And first shot's good. Second drops as well. Leads back to 19 for the Hatters. Sanchez setting things up for the Mystics. Round to Nihus. Sanchez and Keltos and Murphy fighting inside as that pass is stolen away by Whitehouse, who gets it over to Rowe. And Murphy with a great pass into Shaw. Don't think Shaw was maybe expecting that. It's such a good fake of a shot.
She came back laughing, caught Hannah Shaw off guard there. What a great pass that would have been.
Sanchez knocks it away by Whitehouse. Ball will stay with the Mystics. And again, Sheffield have done a really good job of that today, getting into those passing lanes and just making the Mystics fight for each pass here in the second half.
Yeah, that's what the Haas will do. They'll make you work for everything.
Sanchez on the inbound to Keltos. Keltos back out. Sanchez in the corner. Swings it round to Abbott. Into Nihus, and it's just a bit too strong. So ball's back with the Hatters.
It's kind of been a bit of a story of the afternoon for the Mystics, that trying to get the ball inside and not quite connecting.
And stuff, you see how the bigs are just fighting inside
to
get the ball. Sheffield really smothering Keltos and Nihus inside. As Murphy somehow finds a way to the basket and gets it to drop. 21-point lead for Sheffield here late in the fourth. Sanchez to Keltos. Keltos working against Murphy. Steps through to the basket and draws the foul. And Sheffield done a good job as much as they can of, I want to say, containing Sam Keltos, but it's still a difficult task.
No.
And you know, teams will be looking to her. They know what she can do on the court, so it's, she's likely to draw a double team, and then you can pass the ball out.
Yeah, whatever's happening down there, Keltos is always a handful for anyone.
14 points, 10 rebounds so far. Make that 15 as that drops in. And Rowe into Murphy. It's knocked away. Keltos comes up with it. Over to Sanchez. Sanchez going to stop, reset. Passes around, and Whitehouse again steals it away. Over to Rowe. Rowe powering ahead and lays it in. And that gives Charlie Rowe 7 points in the game.
She had a good game, Charlie. Shown all her moves today for sure.
She is, as Abbott can't finish the shot and Rowe picks it up. Over to Oma Jones. Swings it around to Whitehouse. who puts it
What a
in.
great play. Great passing from Sheffield.
And patient passing as well. You're on a break, you've got
Yeah.
time to not rush anything. Again, finding the right shot, just under a minute to play here in the fourth. Sanchez against Omar Jones. Sanchez backing down Omar Jones. Shot eventually drops in.
Shea's still working hard. The game's gone, but still putting everything into it.
That's exactly what we've seen from her all season long.
Yeah.
Whitehouse to Murphy. Murphy for three. And that hits. That's a big three from Carly Murphy. As we just got a quick stop. It'll be Mystics end-line ball, 23.7 to play. Hatters 72, Mystics 48. Balls into Nihus. Keltos hands it off to Abbott. Around to Sanchez. Into Nihus. Backing down Shaw. Nihus with a tough move. Doesn't get it to go. Sanchez with the rebound. Tries to put it back in. Doesn't go, but she's fouled.
Shea's still working away like it's the beginning of the game.
So Sanchez heading to the line for two shots. And first is good. Second one doesn't go. 16 points in the game for Shea. And with just 3 seconds left, the Sheffield Hatters will dribble it out. So that will do it for the game. Sheffield Hatters with a 72-49 point win over the Manchester Mystics. We had a 7-point game heading into half-time. Sheffield turned that around in the third quarter, and they've come away with the win today. Takes them to a 4-game winning streak and moves them to 22 points on the table. So Manchester were led by 16 points from Shea Sanchez. She had 7 rebounds, 4 assists and 2 steals and a block. And Sam Keltos 15 points, 10 rebounds. And Abby Nihus added in 11, 8 rebounds and 3 blocks as well for Sheffield. Carly Murphy with a 19-point, 12 rebound game, 3 steals as well. And Lena Yang, 12 points, 7 rebounds and 2 steals. So massive congratulations to the Sheffield Hatters. And the Mystics will be back in action next Saturday against Durham at the Platt Lane Sports Complex. So make sure to check that one out if you're in the area or on the WBBL YouTube channel. So from myself and Adam, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.